Hey, Angel.
Hey, how are you, Sean?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, man. Excited to be here. Ready to do some
Yeah.
hacking.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So yeah, folks chime in all over the chat already. Hello, everyone. Hello,
Wow.
hello.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, this is I love when we go live on LinkedIn. I feel like we get a ton of folks from all over. They're always like,
Nice. Oh,
you
so
know,
it's
very engaged.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. So we can see,
Awesome.
we've got folks from LinkedIn chiming in. We also
That's
probably usually
cool.
have people watching on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
Nice. I see
Sensei
all the
Favor says hi,
LinkedIn.
Sean. Yeah, like LinkedIn
Yeah.
little logos.
Hey. Hello, Sensei Favor.
Yeah, it's
Awesome
always
name.
yeah,
Like it.
cool to see everyone chiming in. But yeah. So
Wow,
let's
that's cool.
Angel,
Yeah.
should we introduce ourselves so folks know who they're saying hi to?
Yeah. Go ahead, and then I'll chime in, I guess, if you want to do it that
Sure,
way.
sure,
You're
sure.
the host.
Um, cool. But hey, everyone, I am Sean Keegan. I'm a developer advocate here at Postman. I'm based in Brooklyn, New York. Angel and I were talking about the weather today. I feel like that's a common thing everyone talks about when they get started, but we've got a rare sunny day here. It's been cold and windy and kind of rainy, so I'm pretty excited for today. So yeah, that's me. Hey.
Yeah, it's still chilly here in New Jersey. So my name is Angel Rivera. I obviously don't work for Postman. I work for CircleCI, hence the T-shirt, the logo. Yeah, I'm a developer advocate for CircleCI, and like many developer advocates, right, a primary role is to engage with the community, developers, operators, whoever is interested in technology, right, and one of the cool things about my job is not only do I get to see how people are using technology and some of the innovations that they're doing, the other bit is I get to learn about the problems folks are having, right, with technologies and concepts, all the things that make our jobs really, really hard to do as technical people. I help out where I can, right? So I've been in this industry for a very long time, closer to 30 years. So kind of seen a lot of things. But again, just, by interacting with folks, I learn a lot about the newer technologies without having to really get my hands dirty, in conversations and stuff. So yeah, it's fun to help folks out, use my experience to help folks out when they need a hand, right? And if I'm able to kind of provide some guidance, that's awesome as well. So it's a two-way street in DevRel, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's what I do. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, obviously our Twitter handles are in the name. Is it Chiron, right? Yeah, Chiron. Yeah, reach out. My DMs are open. So yeah.
Cool. Angel, I love that developer advocate intro. I feel like every time I answer the question is like, what does a developer advocate do? Or like, what do you do at your job? It always changes. And I'm always like, actually, it's just like really fun. I get to talk about technology. I get to talk about, fun things with people that care about it. And I think that two-way street part of it is really accurate and awesome, right? It's like, not only
Oh
do I
yeah,
get
for
to,
sure.
tell people what Postman's trying to do and like the fun, cool things that we've got going out, but it's like, I want to hear what people think about, the different things that Postman's put out or just like other things out there in the world and like bring that back to my team. Like, hey, this is what people are talking about.
Yeah.
So it's really, really fun. And so folks in the chat, we read all the comments and it's super cool to see you guys in here. And
Yeah.
that's, part of what makes these streams so fun. So Yeah,
Yeah,
Baratsas,
yeah.
hey, Sean and Angel, people from Brazil, Ukraine, Sweden, Belarus. Hello, everyone.
Especially our friends from Ukraine
Yeah.
going through some hell right now, but you'll come out clean on the other side. Trust me. Keep positive. Anyway, so no, it's amazing. Like these jobs are the roles, I should say, are they're different in every organization, right? Some people get it, some organizations get it right. Some organizations don't do such a great job with it, but I think as a DevRel community, the profession is evolving in a good way. So like, yeah, we're learning from our mistakes, and yeah, I hope that these organizations, everyone gets their stuff together and can really shine in the community and help where they can. But yeah, I'm
Totally.
excited. So like, if anyone has any questions aside from what we're going to talk about today, yeah, hit us up in here. Like, I'm down for whatever. So it's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, we got a fun stream plan. So I want to ask Angel real quick before we get started. What is the story behind the Punk Data handle?
All right, I'll give you the quick and dirty version. So I'm out of, I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm out of New Jersey, outside of Philly in a town called Cherry Hill.
Mhm.
So years ago, I still am connected to the Philadelphia tech community, because in Cherry Hill, most of the workers that are companies, the people that work at companies in Cherry Hill, they work in Philly, right? So it's like Comcast, all these big companies. Anyway, so they have a very vibrant tech community. I've been a part of it for decades, right? And a few years ago, there was a like an entrepreneurial uh, meetup, like a startup kind of meetup, and I know some of the local VCs, and one of them is really friendly with me. So I'm very protective. So I used to run a lot of hackathons, organize them, help sponsor, help the kids put them together, especially at the universities in Philadelphia. Anyway, so we were at this thing, startup thing, and the VC, my friend, VC friend, I won't name him, but he was like, "Hey, uh, can you introduce me to these group of kids that were showing off some new innovations, ideas, that they wanted to get funding for?" And jokingly, I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't make those connections with VCs." It was
Yeah.
pretty much just me giving him some crap, and he was very frustrated with me. Thought I was serious. And he's like, "Well, he's like, you're a data punk," right? That was the biggest comeback he could come with. So I was like, "All right,
Yeah,
cool." I like that. That was like, he kind of gave me the. So I've been
the
I
nicknames.
actually use Data Punk, and I actually created a small hacking crew. So when we do hackathons, I made some T-shirts. So bring my friends along, and we have Data Punks as a kind of uniform T-shirt. Anyway,
I love it.
that's where the name came from. But obviously, in Twitter, somebody had Data Punks. So Punk Data was the
Next
alternative.
best thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that handle seems to be available everywhere. So
Yeah.
like, I just snatched it up. So that's the
Sweet.
origin of that. Sorry, a little
I
long
love
winded.
it. No, it's good. I mean, silly stories that just kind of like end up sticking, I think are awesome and fun.
Yeah, VCs are cool though. Not all of them, but
I like, yeah,
they're pretty cool, right? You got to be
you got
careful
to
with them. That's all.
backtrack on your,
Yeah,
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 on your
yeah. So
we
if
like
anybody needs
VCs. We like
advice,
VCs. Yeah.
yeah, no. They're Yeah, like I say, he's a friend of mine, right? I was just breaking his stones a little,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah. So, but there, yeah, if you need any advice on that stuff, you can definitely reach out to me. I got opinions.
Sweet. Cool. Um, cool. Yeah. So if folks are, regulars at our chats, hello. We see a lot of people still chiming in. Raul, Schreier. Hi,
Hola,
everyone. Yeah.
así Portugal. That's nice.
Yeah. I was in Colombia and my Spanish is very limited. Not that they speak Spanish in Portugal, but yeah, my
Well, ellos hablan español también, so they do speak Spanish as well.
yeah, but not yeah.
I don't speak
Um,
Portuguese, and I've been there many times speaking
yeah.
Spanish, so I get on.
You get yeah. Um, cool. Yeah. So if you're a regular to the stream, we always start off, and if you're not, we'll tell you. Like right now, we're about to do a quick in case you missed it segment. This is where I just kind of share some things from the Postman side that have kind of come out or that we want to talk about from the last week or so. So I'm going to just share my screen so people can see some of the things. I'll pull it up here. I'm going to put the chat aside, but we're still watching and listening. Reading, I guess. We're not listening, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I want to share this blog post from our very own Kin Lane that talks about the API first journey and kind of like why that's important, ways to go about it. Angel, is this something that you've heard this phrase API first?
Man, I've known Ken for a long time. He is the API evangelist. I don't know if you folks know who this guy is, but he's an OG. Like, yeah, he's been around forever. He's one of the ones that inspired me, like, to really dig into APIs. I mean, you should check out his GitHub. It's API evangelist. It's amazing. This guy is all about APIs. Aside from being like a super, super cool, friendly person, like he's just great. And yeah, he's amazing. Like he's been in the business probably longer than I have. So yeah, you need to like check his stuff out. If you're down with APIs and you want to learn a lot about APIs, he's done so many like research, on his own, by the way. Like this guy was paying his bills doing this and giving the information away. So like, yeah, you should really check him out. I'm glad that he's at Postman because it makes sense. Like the tool, his experience. Yeah, I'm singing him praises because like I know him as a human.
Yeah.
Number one, he's phenomenal, right? And then the other side of it is he's just so knowledgeable in all these things because that's what he lives and breathes, and it shows. But like, yeah, check out
Yeah.
his stuff because it's amazing. If you and by the way, if you like want to contribute, he's totally down for like, and he's very responsive. But yeah, I haven't read this, but I'm going to read this. I didn't know this existed until today, so thank you for sharing
Cool.
that.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said, Angel. I haven't been kind of in this world, I think, as long as you guys, of course. But Ken was a big reason I wanted to join Postman. Just getting a chance to talk to him and seeing the kind of the vision he has for things and the willingness to just bring everyone along and
Yeah.
that so open and willing to work with people and share his thoughts and help out. Like, yeah, it's been awesome. So. He did mention, Angel, that he may or may not have some funny photos of you in or around the White House.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
he said make sure Angel knows that you have these photos available just in case
Yeah,
he goes off the
yeah,
rails.
yeah, yeah. We were at interesting enough. We were at an event. I think it was 2018, yeah, or something like that. Summer 2018. I got invited. So I used to work for the federal government, and I did some work with some organizations in there. And what they were doing was basically launching this FIRE government standard for API for healthcare called FIRE API.
Mm-hmm.
So they were kind of promoting that and the release of that, which is actually really cool because it was government agencies, right? I believe veterans and NIH. Or was it NIH? And I think it was NIH that were, kind of promoting this event. So yeah, I was invited. I went. Ken was. I didn't realize, he was going to be there, which was always a pleasure. And then yeah, we were sneaking around, snapping photos around the White
I love it.
House. It was fun.
That's awesome. Cool.
So yeah, we have photos. We
Yeah,
were there.
I love that. So, John Farrar, is there a way to contribute a code snippet generated by Postman? So, if I am understanding your question correctly, I think you're asking about the code snippets that are available in Postman that people can click on and just have generate in their sandbox, which Angel and I will explore today. But if that's what you're talking about, I don't know that we have like a specific way to like contribute to that, but you can pop on our community forum. You can raise like a GitHub issue to try to share some of these ideas. But yeah, it's a great question. And, yeah, sweet. So he says, yeah, those. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know offhand if there's like a specific way, but I'd be curious to hear, what kind of code snippet you're looking for or thinking about. So yeah, let us know. And you can always pop something in the community forum that's read, by all the DevRel team. And we try to take all sorts of feedback back to the team. So,
Yeah, we can always use cool code generators, right? Like for
Totally.
snippets and stuff. We're going to be using some today because I was messing around with Postman
Yeah.
as well.
Well, so that
Cool.
feels
Well,
like as good. Yeah, good a point as any to kind of intro what we're doing today, right, Angel? So, do you want to
yeah,
give kind
I
of like
can.
the high level overview?
Yeah, for sure. So I work for CircleCI. We're a continuous delivery platform. So we help folks, teams, individual developers, companies, organizations, basically help them build their software, shorten their release times by providing this awesome platform that is very developer centric, very operational DevOps. Well, I should say DevOps centric, right? So cover all the bases, so that it can help you automate the things that slow you down, right? The things that you have to build consistently, reliably, right? So when we change some code, we always want to know if our code is broken based off of a battery of tests, right? So that's what we do at CircleCI. We provide the ability for you to build these really robust CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous deployment pipelines that allow you to, do anything from testing your code with unit tests, integration tests, regression tests. You can also do pretty much anything like security scans, right? So if you're looking for vulnerabilities, and we're going to show some examples of all that stuff in a pipeline, all the way down to deploying the application, like creating infrastructure and then deploying those changes, right, to a specific infrastructure. So if you're going to deploy to today, we're going to use AWS's Elastic Container Service. So we're going to, make some changes to some sample project that I have, make some changes to that code, de- uh, build a Docker image off of that. Then we're going to build out infrastructure on AWS and a whole ECS cluster with VPCs, security groups, all that stuff. And then our pipeline will automatically deploy this container, right, to ECS, and we're going to show you like that it's alive and available. But the objective today is to show all right, let me take a step back. So I just described like we're going to deploy, right, all these things we're going to do. We're going to end up with a live. Our code changes are going to be ending up live on the system. So when a lot of times, right, when we deploy things, just because it worked in our laptop environment doesn't mean it's going to work right properly in our deployed environment.
Wouldn't
So
that be nice though?
what I like to do is when I have like major changes, and my pipelines, I try to make them so that if I know it's going to be deployed to ECS, I want my pipeline to reflect that, right? Create a sterile environment in ECS, deploy it, and then I like my pipeline to run what I call smoke tests on that deployment. So you know what I mean? I'm just checking like, is the app giving back an OK 200, right? Maybe checking for some text, things you can run tests on the deployed application. And then my pipeline just kills all of that or determinates all of that infrastructure because I don't need it anymore, right? Once I'm tested. And the idea there is to just give the developer and the teams a little more confidence, right, in the deployment. Like, hey, look, this change has worked in the environment that we're targeting for deployment. So again, I run a little, so a small amount of testing, which is like a shell script, which I'll show you the actual ones that I run. But the cool thing is you can use Postman to do this as well from within your pipeline. So like what happens often to me is I have this awesome collection of, API calls in my Postman profile workspace, and it's lagging, right? I'm lagging. Yeah, they're
A little
sending me.
bit, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So what I'll do is finish up here. So when we have the APIs in Postman, I always wanted to be able to like just leverage those, right? So I already have the calls. We already built our application based off of those API calls. So why not you leverage that? And with this tool called Newman, which is the Postman CLI version or command line interface version of the graphical interface, you can do some pretty amazing things from your CI/CD pipelines because the Postman application is generally a graphical interface, which right? Like it's not really lends itself well for programmatic use, right? So what we're going to show you today is how you can smoke test these deployments from your pipeline using like a conventional method that I use all the time, and then hopefully we'll get to show you how to wire up a job in your CI/CD pipeline so that you can leverage Newman and your existing collections to run tests instead of, right? So it's just another way to kind of I like to reuse as much as of my tools and my as much as my tools as possible. It's just another way to show you how you can leverage like Postman, Newman, and CI/CD to your advantage, right? Without having to like do too many steps. So once
Yeah.
you build this, like what we show you today, once you build wire this up, like I say, or configure it in your CircleCI project, you really pretty much it doesn't have to really change, right? So yeah, let's just jump right into it.
I love it.
So maybe what I should do is, since I'm laggy, let me go out and come back in. Does that sound like a plan, Sean?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure everyone gets to see me, like, not as
Right.
much
In real time.
headroom, right? Like,
Yeah.
all right,
I'll
be
keep
right
us.
back.
Yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing.
All right.
So, yep. While Angel does that, everyone's stuck with just me. But I'll share one more quick thing that I think is worth sharing. This was another thing I wanted to share from our in case you missed it portion of things. I'll zoom in so you can see. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, so I believe these release notes are pretty fresh. Right, so now you have the ability to save and document gRPC requests in collections. So this is new and I think pretty helpful to be able to, like I said, just save your collections along with WebSocket requests. And so we recently announced gRPC support, and you can see, right, they're going to incrementally be adding more features, scripting, testing, and other things. So the things that you're used to with collections, like regular collections, you'll now, hopefully as time goes on, be able to also do this with gRPC requests as well. Looks like Angel's back, so I'm going to bring him back on, and I'll stop sharing. All right, hello.
Am I laggy still, or?
Ooh, this seems good to me. What
All right.
because I was seeing the lag before in here as well. So folks in the chat, let us know if Angel's coming through clear and not laggy now, because it seems good to me.
Perfect. Yeah. So why don't we just jump in this thing? Did you want to share your screen first, Sean, to kick us off?
Yeah,
I can. Oh, you know what? Let me do it. Right. So I'll
okay.
probably be doing most of the stuff. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So let me jump in here.
Okay, we got confirmed from Deborah that it's better now. So sweet.
Thank you. Yeah, technical difficulties. All right. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I guess what I was doing was testing some video. Anyway, doesn't matter.
We're good.
I overtaxed my machine. All right. So as a tech person, right? Let me just get rid of all this stuff. All right. So what we have here is a workspace that is shared. I'm sure all of you on the stream know how to use Postman, or at least super familiar with it. Sean is. I did invite Sean to my workspace so we can kind of work together on this, and he can make changes during the stream. But what we're going to do is, before we jump into CircleCI and all that good stuff, let's go ahead and set up a new collection for this specific application. Now, I'm just going to jump into this real quick. Can you see that? Yeah, let me bust out.
Yeah, it's definitely zoom
pump
in for
this
us
up a little bit. Yeah, perfect. All right. So what we have here is is the project for the application that we're going to use today. It's a simple static website. I don't like to get too advanced with applications, because it's not about the application for this specific session. It's all about the pipelines and how to configure these things. So it's just a simple app.js or Node.js application. It shows an image of the CircleCI logo with this welcome text right here. So what we're going to do is run some tests. I have tests that say, check for an OK200. Once it's deployed, I have a test that kind of just checks for this, right? Now, by the way, right, obviously, if I was going to deploy a more complex application, it'll be way more tests, right? Like I'd probably test database connections, API routes, and the responses, right? So again, this is just real simple. We only have a few minutes to do this. So yeah. And by the way, this is all available. And yeah, I'll make this available for everyone. Anyway, so this is the project that we're going to build a collection for. I'm only going to build one route, and it's just going to call the root of the URL, right? So I just want to kind of like set the tone and level set everyone on what we're going to be demonstrating today, because there's a lot of moving pieces. Again, having a more complex app just adds layers of distraction to folks. So that's that. Let's jump back over. So what we're going to do before we, obviously our developer workflow is we need to create an environment, I would say, before we even create a collection. So what I'm going to do here is create a new environment. All right, over. You have to click this little eyeball deal here. And then what I'm going to do is create an environment. Now, this environment obviously will apply to this application. So let's just call this, we're going to call this the Newman CircleCI demo, right? We'll just call it that for whatever.
That works for me.
Yeah, right. All right. So what I need is an environment variable. So for my pipeline, remember, we're going to build a new cluster from scratch, VPCs, everything, elastic load balancers, all that stuff. So what I need at the end of, right, when things get built, I need to feed my Newman call an endpoint, right? So the way it works is obviously we're going to, hit an endpoint hit an endpoint and do some testing, right? So the first thing I want to do is create the endpoint variable that I can then update my environment with. So I'm just going to call it host URL, right? Simple variable name. And we're just going to leave it blank for now, because we don't know what that's going to look like, right, at the end of the day. So once I have that in there, save it, and I'm going to move on with life, right? Like the environment's there. Now you can just drop here and you can see the environment. Perfect. So
because this will be dynamically generated, right, as part of the pipeline.
The
URL.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
We're going to be using Terraform. Terraform will, when it creates everything, it's going to give me a URL. And I'll show you how I do that conventionally without Postman, with my smoke test. I'll show you how that works. So great. So we have our environment set. I saved it. So now it's I got it here. Perfect. Now, the next thing we need to do is, create a API key. And the reason why we need to create the API key is we have to make a call to the Postman system to update the value for this, right? Because we don't know it right now, but we will. The pipeline will know it once it creates that cluster and has the endpoint. The issue is that the pipeline has to have a mechanism to update this for us. Otherwise, when we run Newman, it's not going to know where to send the requests. So first thing I want to do is, if you haven't already done it, I'll just show real quickly, is create an API key for the Postman system. I believe it's in account settings.
Yep. Then we should have that little API
and then
keys on the left.
API keys here. I already made one, so I'm not going to create one, but essentially you would just do, generate API key, give it a name. I'll do it for now. Demo, generate it, and then we'll close that out. So basically that's right. And you can see I use this one. I'm just going to use the same one because I don't want to create a new thing. Actually, maybe it's okay. So I'll just delete this. But that's how you create it, right? You just create the API key. Make sure you copy it, because once it's created, you can't get it back, right? You have to create a new one. Which is really cool because good, because it's security, right? That's a good way to You don't want to reuse, you want to recreate or regen.
Angel, I don't know if you see the eyeball emoji from Deborah Kev. Got eyes on the API keys.
There you
But
go, man.
you can leave
But
it.
yeah,
We're good.
go ahead, Kev. You can try all day. If you get through, let me know, because then I'll get on Postman about it. Like, it's their fault. No. All right. So we have the API key. I have one. What I'm going to do, though, is so now we have the environment. We have the API key. What I want to do is create a new collection. So this is going to be we'll just keep it all kind of the same. I'm going to call this the Newman demo. Just Sean, can you share with everyone? I know this while I'm doing this. Can you share with everyone the origin of the name Newman?
Sure. Yeah. So, I am not myself a Seinfeld guy. I haven't ever seen it, but apparently there's a postman, yeah, in the show Seinfeld, whose name is Newman,
Yeah, the
and I think
character
that's
Newman.
the
Yeah.
character Newman. Yeah,
Yeah.
is from there. So a lot of people really seem to love this reference and kind of inside joke, but it is sadly lost on me, who has never seen an episode of Seinfeld. But that
Yeah.
is the origin there.
So yeah, I just figured, that's a good one to know if people didn't know where it came from. But
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I've been using Postman since like it was a Chrome app extension thingy.
Yeah. Now
And
some people
like,
love it.
yeah, well, and Joyce, one of your coworkers or your peers, told me like, yeah, it's because of and it made total sense, right?
Yeah.
Newman, like, anyway, that's Jerry Seinfeld's arch nemesis. So before we go into like making anything, we need to set that API key that we just created. So let's go ahead and I forget what to use, but I'll just grab it from this collection because that's what I do. So we need to get this x dash API dash key. Key obviously for the header or the authorization headers. So go back to the collection, and then the key that we need is this. And then I'm going to take this off for a sec so that I can paste my key in real quick, which I need to grab. But yeah, so when you have that there, for the most part, let me just get this out of the way. Oh wow, sorry, everything's just so blown up. So once you have that key, for the most part, we just need to pump it into our field there, the value. So I'm just grabbing it here.
So Angel, there's actually a way to like hide your keys in Postman that I don't know that we talked about, which like may make things easier.
Yeah, I saw the secret thing, right?
Yeah. So we can't do
Yeah.
it in the collection variables, but if we
No,
did it
yeah.
in the
I'm gonna
environment,
right. Yeah, I saw that later, like in the environment, right?
yeah, exactly.
But I'm gonna put it in the collection so that it's like easier. Like if you put it in your collection, then you don't have to put it in the environment, and it's
Correct.
a little more secure, I think. Well, at least it's not easily viewable. I don't know. It's yeah. You can talk more to that, Sean. I don't know 100%. But so I have here the key is there. You can't see all of it, which is good. And then is there a save button? Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I've saved that, right? So I'm all set. Like I have my API key. I can now run commands against the Postman API, which we're going to do later. The next thing I want to do now is I'm going to close all that. I don't need this. The next thing that I want to do is now that I have the API key fresh in my project or in my clipboard, I'm going to jump over to the CircleCI website or dashboard. So let me just show you how you can easily get in there. So you just go to circleci.com. I'm already kind of logged in, so we're going to go to application. It's going to bring up my dashboard and all my pipelines. What we're going to be dealing with today specifically is my project that I call AWS CircleCI Modernization Workshop. And then we're going to just use the main branch for now. This is just my fork of another project. And what we're going to do is so we're going to call right into Postman's API to update our URL. So the first thing we need to do for our project, just click on that project settings, is create an environment variable for our Postman API, right? So in CircleCI, your pipeline needs access, and this is how you securely wire up access keys and tokens in the CircleCI pipeline. So we're going to go ahead and add environment variable. Just give it a name. I'm going to call it Postman or Passatman.
Passatman.
Yeah. Sorry, my typing skills are pretty bad these days. Let's just call it Postman token API. Well, just to be a little clearer, API key, right? I think that's the term. Everyone uses token or key, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to, again, remove this so folks don't see it. But, yeah, because it's pretty long and clean. All right. Well, I could show this part. So you can't see all of it. But basically, just add environment variable. Oh, wait. What did I do here? There's a space.
Dashes.
Oh, right. Of course. Okay. Oops. Underscores.
There we go.
That. Like I never read an error message before. All right. So here we go. Add it. And now it's there, right? So you see it's here. It's masked, of course. So it shows a little bit of the, so you could piece a few numbers. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll be deleting those anyway. But you need this. This is key. And I'll show you in a little bit. But I just wanted to get that, since we're messing with APIs, wanted to get that out of the way. So again, just set up the API key. Now you can call that key whatever you like. I just use Postman underscore, whatever API key. But this is where you set it up for your project, right? And I skipped a few steps since it's already wired up, which I think it's more fun for you to, kind of see the in-betweens or learn the in-betweens bits on your own instead of me just walking through it all. Right? It's a little bit more fun that way, at least for me. So now that we have our API key set in our collection, we have our API set in our CircleCI project, we're ready to just build a new request. We're just going to add a new GET request, and I'm just going to call it like, I don't know, what should we call this? Default route, right? Yeah, let's call it default route because that's what it is. Oh, I hate caps on this thing.
Yelling at everybody about the default.
Default route, right? And then I always like to show like, the little bit of what it's going to do. So right now, again, we need to enter our URL request, which we don't know what that is, right? Because we haven't really built our infrastructure out yet. So what I'm going to do is use that environment variable we created for our environment. And what did I call it? Host, right?
Host URL.
Yeah. But I need to set this.
Have the environment. Yep.
So the reason why I set this again was when you're typing here, entering things and it's in an environment variable, you can see it right there. You go. You don't have to if the environment's set, then it'll pick up, and you can autocomplete, which is nice. So let's send a request. Yeah, so you could not send the request because this thing is
no URL.
Not defined. Yeah. And here's like the default headers, right? So now that we have, link copied, right?
Yep. There is no. Hey, Lon from Vietnam. Just wanted to say hi to folks from all over.
Cool. So we have the route set. I'm going to save it. So now that we have that one route, that's all we're going to use today is that one route. All right, perfect. So I think we're in a good spot to. Let me look at my. So we got the collection set up. We set up the environment. Should we set up some tests in Newman?
I like it. Well, we wouldn't necessarily set it up in Newman per se.
I'm sorry, in Postman. Right.
Yeah,
sorry,
cool.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing to kind of like talk about briefly, right? It's like when we talk about Newman, it's like everything that we're doing and putting in Postman, like in these, what we're about to do in the pre-request or test tab, that will get run in Newman, right? That is just the collection, the command line runner of the collection. So everything we have in here will also be done in Newman when we do use it. But so we can just use the tool here to kind of show all the things that we want. So yeah, let's get some tests going.
And that's one of the things. That's a good point. So you just got to remember, right? Postman is the GUI interface, and Newman is the programmatic CLI interface, right? But at the end of the day, we're using both. Well, we're using Postman GUI to build out, because this AP building APIs is very visual, right? So this makes sense to use like a GUI application, and this is a good way to kind of configure everything, because that's how our normal developer workflow with Newman is, right? We'd use the GUI to build the things, and then we can use Newman to execute those things that we built. So think of it that way.
Yeah, I love that.
The differences. All right, so we have now the default route set up. The next step, I think, is going to be, let's build some tests, right? So let me jump over to my code real quick so I can show you the actual smoke tests that I use in this project. So if you jump over to test, right, a folder called test, I like to run all kinds of tests, different ways. Sometimes I'll use like a framework library, like the Node.js, or the Node test libraries, or Mocha or something like that. But I also like to use, I'm an operations guy. My background is huge in the operations. I found this cool bash system that you can run smoke tests with. It's called smoke.sh. It's an open source project. Very cool. I've been using it for a while. So this is a test that I built off of smoke HS in bash, right? So as you can see here, right, it's going to do, so there's some environment variables set. And this happens, you'll see it in action when I show you the pipeline configuration. But basically, right, it just continues pinging a endpoint, which is defined by the smoke IP, and then this smoke URL. And all it does is going to test for things, right? The assertion is, and I don't know why this is. Oh, wait, the smoke URL. I'm looking. Oh, right. So I'm testing for this, and I don't know why that's commented out, but we're going to uncomment that. But basically, right, it's going to test for this assertion, which is, or this text, right, saying, hey, that web page, we're looking for this. If it works, great. If not, then the test fails, right? It's really simple, but there is some timeout looping, right? Because obviously when you deploy something to AWS, it takes about 5 minutes, which you'll see. So actually I made this change. So what I'm going to do is save it, and I'll commit it, right? So in CircleCI, just let me make sure that I don't have anything wild here that I need to save. I think we're good. Well, let me just save what we have. So I have two changes that I made, right? I changed my configuration file, and I made my smoke HS, smoke test job, or I'm sorry, updated my smoke test. So let me get rid of all this stuff here. Now, this is what I'm showing you here is the CircleCI configuration for your pipeline. So what this is the definition of your CI/CD pipeline for that project. It's found in your .circleci folder within your repo. And then it's a config.yml file. So it's a YAML data structure, but our system knows how to parse it and extract information from it. So what we have here is jobs. So I'll just cover the quick nuances of the system. Version is just for the backend system, we have different versions of CircleCI. We're up to 2.1 now. And then this key here, orbs, is essentially our reference to our encapsulated, centrally managed, functionality or package manager. So the idea here is, if you see here, right, our CI/CD pipelines use a lot of different tools to do automation, right? To integrate into different platforms. Orbs gives you an ability to, use pre-produced or pre-generated integrations into things. So, like, if you're going to do a security scan with Sneak, Sneak actually wrote an orb, so it's an integration into the CircleCI system. And all you're seeing here is just like the call outs to like an import statement, right, for a library. So we're just saying, hey, this pipeline is going to use these orbs, which is, again, like pre-canned functionality. So you don't have to be writing all this stuff. Otherwise, you would have to write, right, all this functionality. And then
Yeah.
it's hard to it's redundant, right? So what we do with orbs is give you that functionality and reusability, right? So it's like, again, it's encapsulated, so you don't have to write it. You can just pull it down from the central repository. So the next thing here, I'm just going to close these all up. Next thing here, I just want to jump into the smoke test because that's the one we're kind of focused on. So this is my smoke test job, right? And if you look here, machine is literally where we're going to execute. This can be Docker, this can be Mac OS, this can be whatever kind of runtime you want to use. So like this can change, and the image we're going to use is an Ubuntu service. So resource class defined. So that's another thing. We're going to be running our build tests on ARM capable hardware, which means like in the cloud, you don't have to manage your own. So if you're building binaries for ARM, you can actually use CircleCI to do that because we have that offering. So
So
that's a
Angel,
cool thing.
can I ask you a quick question? Because I
Yeah.
actually have no idea what is ARM. What's
Yeah.
like
So
a
ARM is a
one sentence or
Yeah, no, yeah. ARM is essentially a type of processor architecture, right?
okay.
So you have like x86. You heard that before, right? That's like the
Yes.
traditional. Yeah, I mean, ARM has been around forever, but that's the more popular, the more commonly used. ARM essentially is a CPU architecture process. It has different instruction sets than like the Intel processors that we use or AMD processors.
Okay.
So they're not compatible because the instruction sets, right? Like the processor just doesn't know when you're sending the instructions. So when you have a computer or a device or a resource that uses ARM, you have to compile your application to those instruction sets.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's why you see, like, if you ever download things, it's like, what do you have? If it's Linux, usually they're like, is it ARM or is it, AMD 64? I think that's the the code for the architecture. But
Gotcha.
simply put, this is a very, I would say, fairly new. Um, yeah, it's a fairly new system that we created or I'm sorry, runtime that we created for our folks because we had people that are like, hey, I do ARM development and I want to make sure that my app works. So now you know what I mean, you can run things on an Intel system and build your binaries there. You can also build them on ARM and test them, right? So it's just more capabilities is what we're doing. And I just wanted to
Cool.
call that out. Amazon has introduced a new EC2 instance type, which is ARM. So now yeah, for Mac, I see that. So for Mac, they're still using Intel for some of their machines, but eventually, I think they're going to go to M1, which is an
M1.
ARM architecture, right? These new Apple laptops are ARM architectures. So yeah, we're now you have the capability to do all the things, build your apps for that. I just wanted to call that out. So let's
Sweet.
go ahead and jump back into this thing real quick, and then we're going to jump in. I want to start like hacking on this to make it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So the steps here, right? So we have a job we define. Now the job is like a piece, and you're going to see that in the blocks later in the diagrams. But basically, when you build a job, you're just building some functionality to accomplish a specific thing. In this case, we're just going to smoke test that endpoint that gets created, right? And again, right? So these are the commands. So like you have to do a run command. Let me jump over here real quick. So what we have to do is every time you change your code, it has to be pulled into right the runtime or into your job. So you do a quick checkout. You have the code base there. This attached workspace, since I'm saving the endpoint information, to which is the endpoint URL, I have to save it to an environment variable in a file and then bring that back in through a workspace. So a workspace in CircleCI is a way to transfer information, data like the URL between jobs because we don't have every time you create a job, it's a new emulated system, and there's no like secure, clean way to transfer that data over into a new shell. if that makes sense. So anyway, what we're doing here is setting up a run command. This is the things you're going to execute. There's some parameters around them. You can name them, and I'll show you why that name is important in the dashboard, so you can make sense of your things. And then this command key is the actual things you're going to execute. So just like if you were in your terminal, right, you would issue these commands. In this case, I need to source my endpoint file because it has my environment variable with the URL, and the environment variable is called endpoint, right? So
Yep.
with this smoke test, this is just the conventional one. We're going to build a new one called Newman smoke test. Again, let's just to take a step back because we need to go back into our there's a couple things we need to do, but we're going to use the Newman orb, which I've already kind of put up here, right? So we're going to build a new job in conjunction with the smoke test deployment job. But let's go ahead and create that infrastructure. So the first thing, I made some changes already, right? Let's go to the git changes we made. I want to make sure of my changes, right? All right, cool. So I changed my config file, which is the definition for the pipeline. I also uncommented this smoke URL, the test. So I want to make sure that that's going to work. So I'm going to make my changes. And then this is going to take the first time we build this cluster is going to take a while, but I'll cover the rest of this in a minute. So I'm just going to say updated smoke test, right? Just like that, this simple thing, and then we'll just push it. Now, once I push this up to GitHub, CircleCI will detect my change, and it should kick off a new build for this. And there you go, right? So, and it's even projecting how long this build is going to take, which is pretty cool, actually. I didn't, this must be a new thing. That's awesome. So great. So you look, right. This is that all that YAML you saw. This is exactly what it looks like in the dashboard. So as you can see, right, I had a run test block. I had a build Docker image. I had a scan app. If you look in there, it's just doing a sneak scan, right? So you can see like, yeah, there are some vulnerabilities there, but I set it to not fail. So like if you wanted the system to fail, if it found any high severity, which it did, for demo purposes, I turn it off because it just slows me down.
Yeah.
But just giving you a heads up, like, yeah, this is really simple and cool, right? I just implemented a neat sneak scan into my pipelines, and this happens every time you change your code and push up. So it's built my Docker image, right, and it's sent it over to Docker Hub, which is the one I use for demos to keep everything. You could actually push it to ECS or some other registry, but the big dog here is going to be this deploy to AWS, and as you can see here, right, it's actually building out all the things into AWS that we're going to need for a deployment, right? So if we look at AWS, which I have open already, and Elastic Container Registry, you can see that Terraform has started building me a AWS DevSecOps demo, right?
Can you zoom in on this one, Angel?
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, let me know.
Yeah, that's great.
So like, wait, I'm in the wrong, I went ECR instead of ECS. Sorry. Let's try this again. Here it is. Elastic Container Service. So here's my cluster that's being built, right? So if we pop over back here, Terraform is doing its thing, right? But it's AWS that's slowing the process down, right? But you got to understand, we're building out like 3
Everything.
servers and a load balancer. We're building out a VPC, all the networking, all the security groups, launching. I also have auto scaling groups in here, right? So like this thing will scale based off of metrics. Like if the CPUs on all the nodes are pegged to like 75%, it's going to automatically build out more nodes for the cluster, right? So for performance. So this takes a minute, right? Back in the day when I was doing this, it would, to set something like this up, it would take a year because we had to order the parts or order the system, outfit networking, get routers in, get the technicians to to install electricity, all this stuff, right? So it's
Yeah.
amazing where we're at today from 1994 when I started, right? So
And people will still
pretty
complain
cool.
about it taking 5 minutes.
Well, no, right? Yeah, even me. I'm like, I come from the world where it took a year, and I'm like, damn,
You're
this
like,
is taking
5 minutes,
forever.
then what are
But
we doing? Yeah.
that's how we are, right? Like that's
I
how
know,
we are
I
as
know.
humans.
The
But
instant
it's okay.
gratification.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to. We're supposed to be like that. That's why we push AWS to like the what is it, 5 nines or whatever system. Anyway, so right now it's building out the things, right? So eventually, when that's done, you're going to have all these things. So let's let that build out. I want to jump over to the important bits, which are now that we kind of covered the pipeline and what it is that you're going to see. I just wanted to have that infrastructure up so that we can play with it and run some tests automatically from here. So the next thing we have to do is build out our Newman commands, right? So this is going to be pretty interesting stuff because Newman is a CLI tool, obviously, right? And it's the commands are going to look different than obviously what you're doing in the GUI. So the first thing I wanted to do was get a few things. We need to get a okay, so let me take a step back. There's two things we need to do. Remember, we needed to update this this
URL.
URL, this
Mhm.
variable. The only way we can do that is by running a legit curl request or an API call against the Postman APIs. So there's a few things we need. We need in Newman, we need to let me show you I guess how to make that call in Newman. Got my all right. So this is smoke. All right. Um, in Newman, we need to make a call that essentially, is formatted for the Newman CLI. And I don't know if I have it here or maybe I need to pull it out from somewhere else. Yeah, I think I do. So one moment. Let me see if I can dig up some Newman action from my old tests or whatever. Oh no. Okay, that's cool. But I do have the other. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. I know I had it stashed away
I
somewhere.
just learned of a command line shortcut that I can't remember, but it was to like basically search for something that you had recently written in
Yeah,
one of
it was.
your.
Yeah, it was a different shell. I have my system set up weird, so like
Yeah,
I don't like to leave histories behind for security purposes. So like you know what I mean. It's one of those
probably a
weird.
good call. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's I'm kind of funky like that.
For me, all of my previous ones will be ls cd dot dot ls cd dot dot
Yeah.
twd.
I actually have the call. All right, cool. So let me just copy and paste it here into the. Guess. Let me put it. I'll tell you what. Let me do it this way. About this. You know how it goes, multiple windows. Cool. So let me just do a new page here, and I'll pop it in here. So essentially, it's going to look like this. And yeah, that's a little ugly, but you would do like a Newman run command, and you're going to have to hit this API right at a minimum. So what we need to do is update the collection or the environment and then Newman will also run the collection, right? So that's where this dash E is an environment flag. So I need to update the environment variable with the URL. So the pipeline will need to use this command, right? But we're going to do that. Well, actually, I'm sorry. We are going to use the environment variable the environment variable API call to update the environment variable. I'm confusing myself here. So
Yeah,
one of the things that we need is the environment ID in the system, right? And there's a couple ways you can get it, but I wanted to show you how you could leverage the Postman API calls to do it. Does that make sense?
yeah. To me, it does.
All right.
It is kind of right. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
I don't want to say meta, but like we're going to use an environment to contain the variables that we need to then update the environment.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me just do this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some API calls that I need. So Postman
Can I
has these
can I say
public.
one thing here real quick
Go
before you
ahead,
get
go
started,
for
Angel?
it,
Yeah.
go for it.
So this collection, Postman API, is in your workspace because we were previously tinkering around yesterday, and you forked this collection into here, right? So what I want to do is just drop a link to the Postman API collection so that folks can fork it into their own workspace if they want. But I just wanted to give people a heads up that that's like, you didn't build this out. This is forked from like one of the Postman public workspaces.
Yeah, for sure. So let's do where do I get a collection of all of them? Oh, right, it's in the API one, right? No. Collections. There was a Oh, right, I know why. It's in this other guy here. Let me grab it. I'll just grab these. So what I'm going to do is, these were existing in this Postman thing. I'm just going to grab them all. I moved them around, so bear with me. Can I not? I guess I need to do it this way.
One at a time. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm gonna get the all collections call, and then this last one, which is update, and then I'm gonna get rid of this. All right. So yeah, let's do this one last. So the first thing I want to do is get my collection ID, right, for this Newman demo. There was another way you showed me. Maybe we can just show that too. Like, you don't have to do it from these calls. What was the other way, Sean?
So if you want to capture the ID for a collection and not do it programmatically, like Angel's about to show, click the Newman demo, like the collection level.
Right, that's right.
Yep. And then there's a little key that looks like the I symbol to the left.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
this guy.
exactly. Yep. And so then like that top thing, that's our ID. Yep. So we could copy and paste this, right, if we know we're going to use it. But like, the whole idea of what we're trying to do is build these like automated workflows that, don't involve like manually going and copying and pasting something. So we're going to see how to like, make use of the Postman API to capture this information and use it in our environment.
Right. So I'm just using the API to get a set of collections, right? I sent it. So now you can see in the results all of the bits that come back from my collection. What I'm looking for, obviously, is the Newman demo one, which there it is.
So you could, and you can also like just Control F or Command F in this like little area to find like Newman demo, which is cool.
Like that. Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. So now my ID for the collection is this, which is good, because we're going to need that to get well, I'm sorry, we're going to need that in this section, in this run command. So let's go. You know what? I'm just going to update everything now, right?
Cool. Yeah. Why not?
Like, why not? Because we're going to use this in the pipeline later. So let me just update that. Perfect.
I think you have an extra C at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we didn't.
Yeah. No, you're right. Thank you for calling. Wait, let me just. All right, let's try this again.
There, yeah.
The right way. There you go. All right, cool. So we got that run, right? Like, that's good to go. Now we have, so Newman will run this collection, and it'll run all of these things. So we'll have to like get rid of them eventually. Well, you know what? We'll try it. We'll see. So the next bit is, now that we have the collection ID, I need to get my environment ID, because I have to update this environment variable, right? And the only way to do that is to use this update environment call. So as you can see here, right, we need the environment ID for this. So let's go ahead and make a call against my workspace. And the reason, again, that it knows, like, this call knows who I am is, remember, we set up my API key, right? So it knows this isn't magic. You have to set this. That's why you have to set all that stuff up.
Yeah.
So let me send that request, and our environment is called Newman CircleCI demo. So I'm going to jump in and do what Sean had mentioned, which is the Control F bit, and then we're going to do Newman, right? There it is. See?
Yeah,
so
easy.
So we found our ID key. We're going to need this joker too. So let's grab that, Control C, and then we're going to go back to our. So now we have the endpoints that we're going to need to call. And by the way, like, I'm just showing you the raw Newman call, but we're going to be using an orb that will obfuscate all of these things. So you'll understand what I'm saying. This is just for me to copy and paste later into the pipeline. Okay. This file is just a placeholder for us for this demo. All right. So now that we have our collection ID and our environment ID, we are able to now do things like update an environment variable, right? So one of the things that you can see the body, the proposed body, right? So like this is an example from this call. So right here we need to create a, well, actually we don't need to change this. This doesn't really matter. But as you can see, the body, right? We're going to update the environment. I think this name is just it's not the environment name. We don't want to change that. So let's just keep it. Let's just get rid of that. I don't need that to update that, right? This is a put command, so we're not updating anything. The other thing we want to update are these values. And I only have one value. So let's just call it host. What did I call it? URL. Yes.
Yeah. Angel, we've spoiled some DC Comics stuff for our watchers by revealing this body.
What do you mean?
Just Ian Douglas didn't know Bruce Wayne was Batman, apparently. Yeah. So,
sorry, man.
Yeah, that's on us.
Yeah, didn't mean to. But anyways, what does it say? Batman? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, shouldn't it be he's a billionaire? I mean, he's not really a billionaire. No, anyway. Yeah, I don't want to get into the details of
the Batman weeds. Yeah.
Anyway, so right, so this is going to be kind of like the body that we want to send, right? And obviously this is unknown, right? So we'll just keep it blank for now. The reason why I'm showing you this is because, well, actually we can say this will be, I think I'm going to name the variable Postman. What did I call it in CircleCI? Postman API key. That's right. Underscore API key. And Sean showed me this cool little trick yesterday. So I changed my call, right? So this call here is now going to do this, but this is for my CI/CD. The body will be in a curl request. So from CircleCI, we need to make a call. The easiest way to do it is a curl request from the pipeline. Actually, no, this isn't right. This needs to be the endpoint. Sorry. Okay. It has nothing to do with the API key. We need the endpoint URL.
I was going to say, I trust you, but cool. Okay.
No, you should speak up, man. It's all good. So we have this body built, right? And I'm just showing you. You don't really have to even do this because we're going to override the call with our curl request. This is just me showing you, what the curl request should look like. So Sean, I forgot. Where do I get the snippet? Is it over here, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
There it is. Okay, so let's do that again.
I was going to say, show people. Yeah.
So this code button here, right? I opened, I created this call. The cool thing about Postman is, and by the way, this didn't exist like when the first iterations of this program came out. This is all new, really cool shit that like is super helpful. So I click here. And look, you have the code snippet generator, which is, I think, one of the users or viewers had mentioned. And you can do like, hey, it gives you an example of how to do this, right? Make that same call in different languages, which is so cool. Python, right? HTTP client. That's a common one. Anyway, what we're interested in is doing is a curl request. So this is exactly what I'm going to put inside of my CI/CD job. So let's grab that, copy that to the thing. I'll just get rid of that. Now we have all the bits, I think, to make our pipeline work. So now we need to adjust the pipeline. One thing I want to do though is let's check our AWS system. So let's take a look at our pipeline. Looks like everything succeeded. let's take a look at where we at. All right, perfect. So you see what happened here. I did a scan app. I built the image. This has been deployed and my smoke test ran. So that means the system is up and running. If we go in here, we can get that URL that we're all working towards to get, so we can build our cool Newman job. So we have a fully functional cluster working using Graviton 2, which are ARM-based servers in Amazon. So if I put that there, right, I have my application running, right, based off of those changes. So you may be wondering why didn't it continue on? I put it in approve destroy. CircleCI has this type of job that basically, let's say you're working in a regulated space, or you have a manager who's like, untrustworthy of automation. He wants to, or they want to, check on what's going on before anything gets deployed. You have this button that, if I click it, it'll say you have to approve the continuation of this, if that makes sense, right? So it's just a manual stoppage, right? So this pipeline now is on hold. What you can do is leave it on hold and keep, making updates and pushing, and it'll just do all the bits again and then update with those changes. So you know what I mean? Like, this is what I generally do if I'm, wanting to test changes for the day. And then when I'm done, I don't need the infrastructure. I just approve it and I kill all that infrastructure, right? So it's more of a time saving thing, because it took 5 minutes, but the next one's going to be like 1 minute. It's not going to recreate anything. It's just going to say, yeah, everything's there already, because we're using Terraform. All right, perfect. So let's jump into now that we have. I'm just showing. I just wanted to show you everyone, like, the clusters there. You see, these are all the ECS jobs running, tasks running. Here's the 3 server nodes that are built right in the instances. You see, everything was connected with the Terraform that's included in this project. So if we go back, we have 3 running tasks, 1 service, and obviously the service is a ALB, or an elastic load balancer. All right, perfect. So let's go back. Now, I think Shauna, I lost my there. All right, I got it back. I just want to see if there's anybody have any questions so far, because I know this is a lot, very involved. If there's any questions from the crowd, do you see anything? I'm not seeing.
I think, I mean, I think we're doing okay. So, folks, if you have questions, like, feel free to let us know. Like, you have an awesome, CircleCI knowledge pool at your fingertips. So, ask questions, and I'm sure Angel will be happy to dive in. But yeah, the only comment so far is I'm wondering if there's any relation between Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah, I think they know each other. Now, I was gonna say, like, I see we're got 15 minutes. So, like, is there a hard stop at 90 minutes? I can go on. I mean, it's up to you, but
yeah, I mean, we typically try to. We can go a few minutes over, but yeah, if you want to kind of just hack away and see what we come up with,
I tend to keep going until it's done. So if people want to hang in longer, I'm down to stay. So anyway,
sweet.
So we got everything in place. We got our API key. We ran our job. Our clusters kind of set up, which is cool. We know that that's functioning. We know our smoke tests worked, right? What I want to do now is add another job that specifically tests using Newman. So it's going to demonstrate how to do that. So let's jump into the CircleCI config. This is where we get it's going to get really fun, really fast.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Promise. I think this is where did hold on. I'm all jacked here. All right. So this is yes, perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and close up all these things. So we have smoke test deployment. What I want to do is build a new job. Let's just build it right under this joker here. And I'm going to call this Newman, just to kind of distinguish between them. Newman, and then we're going to say smoke test, right?
Love it.
Perfect. And then, so from here, what I think we should do here is we're going to use an orb, right? So maybe let me grab, I'm just going to grab the Docker. Actually, you know what? Let me take a step back. Let's jump into the Newman documentation. So at CircleCI, this is our registry, right? Like I mentioned, this stuff is maintained by our partners, maintained by our team at CircleCI, and we have community orbs. So people who build functionality can share it. It's kind of our like little open sourcey way of sharing information and features. So what we're going to do is you can find the
Can you
functionality.
zoom in on this one? Sorry, Angel.
Oh
Just
yeah,
zoom in a tiny
absolutely.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So it has a little search feature. So like let's say I don't know, let's see if there's a Rust orb. So yeah, see somebody built the Rust orb. So you can essentially take a look at what that looks like, and it just has like the commands, the jobs, right? You don't have to write these jobs, you just feed it. Yeah, the smoke HS, I'll get that for you. So essentially, right, you have all of these tests. I'm sorry, these commands and things. The executors are where your code runs. The reason why I'm checking on that is because, like I said, we have ARM based systems. So I want to make sure the Postman Newman works in ARM, which I'm not sure it does. So we're going to stick to an Intel x86 just to save ourselves some time. So Newman, right? We're going to select that, and this is the Postman authored and maintained Newman CLI tool. So here's a quick example of how to use it. Remember, I said we just have to include the Newman namespace in our code. Which let me double check, make sure it's the right version. See, there's a newer version out, so we're going to use the newer version. Why am I using this? Oh, wait, this is the newest version, 1.0. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's great. We're on the newest version. And then there's some examples on how to do these things. And here's one, like here's a job to run a collection. So what we're going to do is I think we're just going to do a Newman run command. We're just going to do a simple Newman run command using the orb. But I do need to get how we're going to do that. Let's go back to the example. I saw it here. There you go. So Newman run. All right. And then the collection is out. Okay, perfect. So let's jump back over to our code. And then we're going to go over to this Newman smoke test. So it is YAML. So the first thing we want to do is grab our code, right? So we want to do a fast checkout, right? We need the code to be able to do all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh wait, of course, I forgot the executor. So we need to tell it like where we're going to run it. Let's go ahead and just use a Docker image. So we're going to say Docker, not Docker push, but Docker key. Why does it want to keep doing that to me? All right. Oh, because of the sorry. And oh my goodness. See, that's why I hate IDEs like this. Let me just all right, perfect.
It's like forcing something down your
throat. Man. Yeah. Normally I use Vim.
Docker push.
This doesn't do anything with Vim, right? So so yeah, I just want to make sure that the key is image, which I have, and then let me grab the Docker image. I'm pretty sure that to keep the ARM thing, because it doesn't matter if you're making these calls, because all you're doing is using Newman in this specific job. Perfect. So we have that, and then we need to do a steps. So steps key. Oh, there you go, and then from there we'll just speed up our checkout. So I'm getting a red message here for some reason. What's the problem? Make sure image. Let me see up here. Now right, of course. I forgot I forgot my list. Yeah, that's not cool. All right, perfect. List designator. All right, so we have our checkout. Now we're going to do a run command, right? And in this one, we're going to call it. I know, man, it's like annoying. We're going to call this. Let's do it this way. Yeah, right. We're going to call this name key. So we're going to name our job, right? And in this one, we're going to say we're going to call this, I don't know, yeah, Newman smoke test. Just so it's visible in the UI.
Right. That's what we'll see like pop up
readable.
as like
Exactly.
one of the like little boxes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I've never had this problem before. Am I doing this right? No, I'm not, because this is a parameter of run. Sorry. Until I haven't written config in a while, I always cut and paste.
Yeah.
This is fun. See, I'm showing you that I am also human. And
right. Yeah. I think this stuff is valuable. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're not just robots that.
Yeah. I'm
crank it
also a
out.
cut and paster, obviously. Right? Like, so, and I'm proud of it. All right, perfect. So now we have a command. Now, this is where it gets interesting, right? Like, we want to smoke test the application, right? Or the server from Newman. So this is where we grab, actually, I'm all jacked up here, right? Yes. This is where we use our Newman orb, right? To run a command. So this is where running collection. I want to make sure I got this right. Yep, Newman run, right? And this is Newman run. Yes, perfect. All right, so we're just going to grab this here, and I guess this collection key. Go back to our code, and we can do. Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I'm over. That's going to be the smoke test, but what we want to do here is, let me think about this. So we want to do a smoke test. I've never used this orb, by the way, so I'm learning with you, right? So
Yeah.
we're all experiencing this together. Yeah, so I'm just looking, right? We're doing our checkout, Newman run. Yeah, okay, perfect. So right, this is how it works. Okay, good. So this is a job, and then we have our Newman run command. So we can actually run it. Perfect. All right. So what I want to do here is this. Since I'm going to go back up a little bit, I'm going to close this. So the namespace Newman, right? This key here is a reference inside the YAML. So you can call this whatever. You can call it Postman if you like. But what we're going to do is we're going to leverage it here. Since it's a command, and we can just like call it this way. We're going to say Newman, right? Not Newman, but Newman. And then I think it was, what was it? Newman run? Yeah, Newman dash run. Okay. Just want to make sure if that was an underscore. Newman dash run, right? And then from here, we need to offer up I believe it's a collections parameter. So let's look at the Newman run. And these are the parameters that you have to feed it. This is the only one that's required. So this is the string. Remember those file paths that we were looking at? So we just need to call it collection. And I believe it was, let me just take one more look. So I want to do this to right. Yeah, perfect. All right. So the parameters collection, right? And then we'll do that. And then let's grab our, our URL.
So I think that's for the environment because it's after the E flag.
Oh,
so
right.
Want
perfect.
First.
Thanks for calling that out.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's try it again. Perfect. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's the wrong one. But all right. So I'm just copying and pasting this because we already did the work. And then we just can put it in here. The only difference is though, oh shoot, let me just do this. We need to change this to Postman, right? Because we're going to leverage our API key that I posted in CircleCI, securely posted in CircleCI. So the Postman API key is there, right? Perfect. Now the other bit is going to be for our curl request. We need to pass along. So we're going to do this Newman run, the collection. The collection name that we're going to run against that. But before we do that, though, that's what I wanted to do, Sean, was right. I just got a little backtracked. Let's do this. We're going to do a new run command, right? And we're going to call this the name is going to be, let's call this, we're going to call this update, was it, Postman environment variable, right? Or update the, the Postman, Postman env, the host URL, right? Do you understand? So like I'm building a new job to run that curl request that we're going to leverage here. So just want to be clear with everyone on that. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to call the command will be this is where we're going to leverage the curl request, right? And let me grab that from our handy dandy Newman code snippet tool. So great. So we're going to grab our curl request and simply, I guess we can use the button here, right? Go back to our code.
I'm just going to drop a link in the chat for folks to see the documentation for the Newman orb. So if you were curious what Angel keeps going back to, that's where he's going.
And then I'm going to do this, right? Like that's my curl request. So we're going to make it look a little prettier, right? When it's kind of ugly. But it's all good. And by the way, this is the first time. Oh, wait, you know what? Why am I doing this separately? Let's see, Control Z, get rid of that. All right, that's fine. We're going to do that. And then I'm just going to all at once bang it out. So tab. That's not what I wanted. All right, perfect. So so now we have, a nicely formulated body. Oh, all right. Well, there you go. That's not good. But that's all right. I'll be changing it anyway. All right. See, this is what I was talking about, security.
Yeah.
All right. So what that needs to be is remember the masked API or the masked the masked environment variable. So it's Postman. I didn't want to send it, and I did anyway. See that? API. All right, cool. So there you go, right? We have now the inner workings. This is, again, supposed to match what we did down here, right? So CircleCI knows what this is. It's going to inject it into the runtime when it needs it. So first things first is updating the endpoint variable in our environment. Endpoint will be supplied by, which we need to wire up in a minute, but it'll be supplied by this job in another command. Actually, we'll do the command above this one. And then, right, we're going to run our collection against the infrastructure that is referenced in this endpoint. I hope that makes sense. I know I'm going at it a little bit confusing, but this is what we do when we're doing live hacking, right? So that curl request needs this endpoint value, and I need to just grab that from that workspace. Remember, I was saying we transfer data between things, and this is exactly where we would get it, right? This block. I'm not going to type it again because I don't remember how it looks, and it's just easier to paste it, right? So here we go. What happened here? Right, because I need to do this at the after the checkout. Okay. So paste that there. All right. So now we have the ability to go and get that. We need to do this, of course, to source get the value, the environment variable for the value. Now, once we have this source line in, it sets this environment variable for this specific job, right? So I think we have all the inner workings. We grabbed the attached workspace because this was already done in a previous step. I'll show you that real quick. So the way that is set is, oops, I went too far. The way that is set is here. So for in Terraform, you can run a command once the Terraform's done, and I set a local environment variable, right? This is the command that gets me the output, the host name of the load balancer. I set it to an endpoint environment variable. I make a directory, save it, and basically save this, right? I echo this into a file, and then that's the ECS endpoint file that's persisted to the workspace, right? So the previous step where all of this was created saves that, and then I use it. Then to subsequently use it, you just attach that workspace to your job, which is this line here, right? And then all of that stuff, all that goodness is available. So that's, if you're wondering how that was set, that's how that was set. All right, perfect. So we got that. I mean, just looking through, make sure, because we should be able to run this and hopefully it'll work. So essentially what I was doing was updating that environment variable to the environment UUID, right? Which I need to actually update with the one that we got.
That we know,
Yeah. That's another bit. You could genericize it, but for this demo we're running out of time, so I want to get this available, right? And I need to just go back and get it from here because I did pull it down earlier. Here's the environment variable, right? Or the ID for the environment, which is the Newman one. So let me grab it, and we're just gonna paste right there. So now we have our environment variable, our environment ID. This curl request should work. I think we're all
crossing my fingers. Yeah, I like it.
I'm looking through, running. All right, let's get rid of this. Oh wait, you know what we forgot to do is actually build a test in Newman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like,
or in Postman,
but nothing would happen. We wouldn't see anything.
Well, it would run the calls.
Right. But we wouldn't see any output for any tests or anything.
Right. So let's go ahead and jump back over. So I think we set up our pipeline. We're all good. We've got the call. I don't think we need any of this anymore. We'll leave it alone for now. But what we really need to do here now is for the default route, right? So this is what we're really interested in. These are all get called, but this is what we're really interested in. And we want to build our test. So this is how you would build a test to do the things like OK200 and check for the string, right, that we have in my previous test.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and look down in the snippets area here. I know I saw it. There it is. So they have Postman has these really cool like pre-canned tests that you don't even have to write this code. See, I just clicked this status code contains 200, which is one of my checks, right, to make sure that my system is up and running. The other bit is I want to do a value check, right? So in the response body, I want to make sure that is this? No, this is wrong. I think this is wrong.
I would do the one like
the string. This one. Response body is equal to a string. That's the one.
I would actually go up more and just do contain string just to keep it even more. Go down a bit.
Oh, sorry.
And
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I just think that was going to be a little bit more.
All right.
I
think that's the one I used. Right. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah. Wait, is it? Oh, I see. And then the string here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that static page has a string. I don't remember what it says, but I'm going to pull it up out of the app so we have it, which is here. Yeah. Welcome to this. All right. This is what I use for my workshops. So that's why it's a 101 thingy. All right. So you see, I just put the tests. I just built 2 tests that are similar to what I have. I'm going to save them. So when Newman runs, it's going to run all of these collections because they're in there. Mm-hmm. But actually, you know what? Let me just move them out of the way. It doesn't matter. We'll let it run. But the one I'm really after is this. This is going to smoke test, right, my thing. And we'll see the results in the pipeline. Okay, so we have, I think, all the inner workings. I saved it. This should work. Like, we should be able to now commit the changes we made to our config file, config.yml file. Let me save it. And at the end of the day, we will run. Oh, right. We need to set up our Newman run command, which I did here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's just give it a try. What the hell, right? Like,
do we need to add the environment to the collection? Did we do that already?
What do you mean by that? No,
So like,
not tracking. Uh-huh.
we have like for Newman run, we have the collection, but we don't specify an environment. Do we need an environment for this or no? I don't remember.
No, we don't, because we're not. You would need that if you set environment variables in Newman. So like
Okay. Okay. Right.
sometimes, like if this call is going to make another call, right? To or like if you chain together things. Like let me show you. So like you would use that, I would say you would use it like if you need like version control systems. So like in this one insights thing, you see what I'm doing I'm building these things based off of those environment variables.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like no, I don't think so.
We're
I
good.
don't.
Cool.
Yeah, if not, I mean, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we don't, right? Like I'm pretty sure. But then again, you might be right. Yeah, let's set it up. What the hell? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thanks for calling that out. Okay. So I guess I would have to do it the same way we had up here. Yeah, you're right. Let's do that as well with -e, right? So what Sean was saying was, yeah, we probably need this one as well, and then I'll just, yeah, perfect. So we'll
I
go
think
back to,
we could even do like if you just copy the URL. You see how you have like online 121 collection and then
yeah.
the thing. I think we just do the same thing underneath it. Just do like environment colon and then have
Oh,
that
right.
URL.
Yeah. Okay. The parameter. Perfect. So
Yeah.
you read the docs. Good for you. Good for us, I should say.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. You know what? You're right. Why am I going to do this the right way? Am I spelling that right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. So now, well, we can get rid of all the fluff, but I need to put the Postman API key. I want to get rid of that. And then I want to also get these bits here because I think, perfect. We'll just give it a little bit more space. Perfect, right? Yeah, I think we're good to go. I'm going to get rid of these things. I don't think we need them. All right. I think that's it, right?
All right.
Yeah. So we have our collection. We have our environment. Hey, man, let's do it. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So before we run it, again, we're this update Postman, right? We're updating. Yeah, we're updating the environment variable and thing before we kick it off. All right, let's do it. I know some people are saying they got to bounce. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Do you have this URL that I can share with people?
Which one? The
The
smoke?
URL for the smoke essay.
Oh yeah, hold on a sec. Let me it's on GitHub, but let me do smoke. I think it's smoke that he used to promote the dude's there it is. ASM, this one. Here, I'll get you. Well, can I chat? I'll put it in private chat.
You can send it to me, the private chat, and I'll copy it over.
If I can.
Sensei Favor's been a loyal watcher. I want to make sure they get.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's yeah. There you go. All right, so let me get back to what we were doing, which was we're gonna update the code. Let's do that. So I'm gonna put update the update the config, right? The pipeline config. That's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. They didn't save it? Of course not, right? That's how I roll. All right, let's try this again. And then update, perfect. I'm gonna push. Now let's go back to CircleCI, our awesome CircleCI tool. Oh, come on, where is it? Where are you? Gotta love these streams, man. They're the best. Wait, what happened here now? Oh boy.
So I'm only seeing your terminal.
Well, yeah, no, okay. Sorry, that's because
here we go.
Yeah, here we go. So I ran a new job, right? So we're gonna go back to our main. See this? I updated some code. It kicked off. This will take a lot less time, but it still has to go through the machinations. Oh, I forgot something though. Let me just cancel. Well, you know what I forgot? Perfect. So we built our job, right? Which is called Newman smoke test. But what I forgot was
to run Newman smoke test?
Yeah, exactly. Well, so we have to add it to our workflow. So
Yeah.
our workflow is the way we orchestrate how the jobs, execute. So I need to add it here. So you see, we're running our smoke test deployment, but what I want to do is, create a new execution command in our workflow for what did I call it? Newman, Newman smoke test. That's what I called it, right? And we're going to add a dependency. So it's going to require that the initial smoke test completes. Let me think about that. No, we don't need to do that. We can run it simultaneously. So we're going to require that. Obviously, we need to require, we need our infrastructure to be available, right? Wait, what am I doing here? Require. I did a require.
The require everything.
Yeah, the requires is just a way to you add a dependency, so you add a sequential step, right? Otherwise, everything will run at the same time. So I'm going to require that the deploy AWS ECS job, right, completes before I run Newman smoke test. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. After the smoke test, and the reason is there is a 90-second timeout that I put in these things, and it's because AWS takes time to update the nodes before the app is actually available. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
When you change something, it's just an AWS choke point. But yeah, and then we're gonna need the approval. That's okay. So now that I saved it, I think we have everything we need. Yeah, and I have the requirement. So by adding this line, I'm telling the pipeline now to build it, which is why it looked the same, right? There's no. So the next time we run, there should be another. So let's go ahead and just hit the main button, and then we're going to run this bad boy real quick, and then we're going to say update the config again, right? And then boom, push. So fingers crossed, our pipeline will run and show us
Here we
some
go.
results. Yeah. So
all right. So I see Newman smoke test on there. Good sign.
There you go. See, we added it now. Yeah. So yeah, while this is running, hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed. But yeah, this is exciting. Hey, Sensei Favor, thank you, man. I think he bounced, right? Or he's gonna bounce.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like waiting for the paint to dry. But for the most part, the test is gonna be if this environment variable gets updated, right? Like that's gonna be, we'll know right off the bat if it worked, because this has to get updated first from the curl request. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that will be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be good to know.
So yeah, this is
yeah.
Yeah. So because the API call first has to happen, right? So if we look at the config, which I can show you again, if we look at our configuration file, right, this curl request has to happen first before we can, because right the
And where are we capturing endpoint in this process? That's happening earlier and becoming
so that
like a
after
CircleCI variable.
Yes, exactly. After the Terraform, this is how you capture it.
Gotcha. Endpoint equals endpoint. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So you run this command to, it's all about transferring data between environments. That's one of the easiest ways to do it, because you're just running in a runtime. Is there any questions from anyone while we wait for the paint to dry here and test? I'm confident we're going to get it the first time out, but that's pretty much it. I think we covered a lot of bases here. So apologies if, it's all over the place, but we're doing quite a bit of things.
Yeah, for sure.
And in a short amount of time. But yeah, this is again, sometimes waiting for the paint to dry, but
so why don't we, Angel, let's use this time to kind of do the high level overview of, what we tried to do, and then what, the workflow we tried to build.
Right.
and then
Perfect.
hopefully it works, and then we can kind of wrap up from there.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's go back. Obviously with CircleCI, right? You use your pipelines here to do things, right? To test the applications, again, build Docker images, compile binaries, test integrations, whatever. And in this simple example, I just wanted to, you know, I like to test my apps and my pipelines, but I also like to test the deployments of these applications in the target environments where they're going to be,
Mhm.
where they're going to live, right? Like where they're going to, oh, well, our smoke test passed. So let's check out our Newman. Oh, dang it. Command not found.
Newman command not found.
Oh,
Do we
perfect. I know
install
why.
Newman?
I know why. Yeah. So yes, this is an easy fix. Yeah, but all right, easy fix. So I used the wrong, I should have used, I think your team has an executor. Let me use the image that they use. Right. The reason why it failed is the Newman CLI was not installed because the image I'm using does not have the program installed. Makes sense. So you see this executor. I'm gonna kind of hack it a little bit and find where the image. You can see the source code, by the way. So the executor, this is the image that your team uses, whatever that is.
I
So
think, yeah. If
it
you
doesn't matter.
go, yeah,
I think if we just use the latest, right? Like that'll be fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
So let me do this. I'm just gonna fix my code up, change this to Control V, and then say I think that'll be fine. Like Newman, uh, right?
and
Is
it's
that
like
yeah.
automatically, yeah, give
Yeah,
us the
it'll pull
latest
down the
there.
latest. It should.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's do that real quick. We're gonna and added. So that was again, right? We're developing this from scratch, so mistakes will be made and lessons will be learned. Newman exec. That's all. I'll just say that. Yeah, and we're punching that change, commit, push. So that's good though. Like this is how you build software, right? Like you're gonna get failures, and these are like the silly things that we missed. But um, so this will kick off again. So to reset again. We created all of these cool things. Smoke testings, right? We're gonna created that infrastructure. It's there. I just want to make sure my changes are tested. Um, and again, the main point for me is always ensuring that not only are you testing your code, you're also testing your deployments. And this is a simple way to build some confidence in how to and in your code changes in your packages, right? So if you build a Docker image based off those changes, you can deploy them and then run quick tests. And the only thing we're doing different is we're using Newman to do that because most developers like myself, I'll build out all of this, like all these API calls in here. Why not reuse that, right? Like, why are
Yeah.
we having to write these extensive tests? And by the way, if I want to manage them, I can just manage it centrally from here. You know what I mean? From my workspace. So that's the beauty of all these like integrations and tools is, we don't want to be doing the extra work as a developer. I can tell you, like, I can't tell you how many times I can tell you, but it's scary. The amount of redundant work we do as developers, and most people know that, right? Like for the people that are on here, we know that
Totally.
what's going on. But yeah, we'll give this another shot. If this doesn't work, then we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it should work. I'm confident. It's waiting for the paint to dry kind of thing. Uh, but how many people do we have left? I mean, I'm sure some folks have had to drop off.
Yeah, I think some folks dropped. Yeah, I think if this one doesn't work, maybe we can kind of call it a day on the stream, and then we can you know, play around offline, and give people we can point people after like the YouTube description to like places to go
Oh
to
yeah,
see what we
yeah.
did.
I'll definitely like I'll create a repo for this specific thing, and then people can just share, or a branch maybe, and people can just grab that, right? Like the code and everything. It's all available. I don't mind sharing all this stuff.
Cool.
So yeah, I know. Like I said, I can go on long, but I generally do. I forgot to mention that to you, Sean.
Yeah.
But this is good stuff. If anybody has questions, please. Yeah. Oh, there's somebody that asked about, can you help for use cases for API module? I don't know. You see that one?
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, it's like further down.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so
I
from a
didn't see
LinkedIn
that.
user, can you help for use cases for API module? I'm not 100% sure what the question means. Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh no, this is
Oh, it's an old one.
yeah. Yeah, this is the
Uh,
no, it's the previous one. So
okay, okay. Yeah, I was
that I
like,
have, like I said, there or here we go. It's gonna start the 90-minute 90-second kick in. So the smoke test is working. So you can see how that looks. Yeah, you see it's spinning up the machine.
cool.
It did a test, so hopefully we have Newman kicked off.
Here we
It's
go.
gonna spin up.
Moment of
It's
truth.
gonna ah.
Ah,
Wait, curl not found. So you guys don't have curl on the machine. I can fix that. Hold
shoot.
on, let's try this. I got to get this working, man. Please hang in there with me. I think it's a. Oh shit! I don't even know if it's a. Do you know what the image is?
Uh, I know. So when we just updated the orb ourselves recently, and
I
the
got an
editor.
idea. We can install Newman with npm, right? Let me just revert that. Here, I know what to do. We'll revert this to that. There's a way. Now you're going to learn how to install Newman using npm, which is npm install fg Newman. Yeah, I
So
should do it.
it just make sure it's npm. Right now it's nnp.
Aha, thank you.
Yep.
That's the package manager I use.
Okay.
NMP.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Node at all. So, all right. So npm install, yeah, Newman, and then I'm sure curl is on this thing. It's gotta be. All right. We'll find out quick. So we'll try it one more time. Again, it's like every minute, right? Whatever. Let's see. Yeah. Oh. That's this is what I'm talking about like Docker images, and like if you don't build your own image, then you don't know what's on it. So uh, normally I try to build my own. So I need to push this up, right? Or did I do it already? Yeah, I did. It looks like I did. All right, cool. So let me jump over one more time. I promise this works. I just gotta see. I just gotta see it work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have the time, Sean, or I don't want to?
I have to hop off
All right.
at the top of the hour here. So
All right.
this
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 is
is
it. This
probably our
is
last one. Um,
mhm.
and while this one's running, there are a few questions that maybe you could answer
Yeah,
here for Sam.
sure.
So could you explain these questions about the engineering process? What is a smoke test and its purpose? And then can you discuss how to do code base differs once on a production hardware? I'll actually leave it out.
So yeah. So the first one, a smoke test. The smoke test is essentially a term used for tests that are essentially like unit tests, right? So the idea behind a smoke test is to test something, a functionality quickly, right? So they're limited in scope, meaning they should be very simple and they should run fast, right? So like if you create a new function and, instead of doing like integration testing and extensive testing on things, they're designed to be fast, and they're usually generally associated with like when you're developing something or you're newly deploying something. They're just like the redundant tests that you need to do every time, but they have to also be quick. So the definition of a smoke test is a test that's limited in scope, right? Meaning it has to be kind of simple, not too complex. And the other bit to it is you want it to be fast. Now, interesting fact, I used to work in construction as a kid in the summers, and I used to work, excuse me, in construction with plumbers, and these guys would, outfit a whole building with plumbing, and the way they used to test for leaks was they would have these like smoke machines, and they would connect these hoses to it and then pump smoke into those pipes to check the seals, right? So they would solder, in some cases, copper, or join them with, depending on with the bigger pipes, right? So
Mhm.
essentially, and I was like, why are you doing, like, I was like, why are you doing that? And they're like, oh, because if we put water in there, then it's a pain in the ass to dry out. And you know what I mean? Like, so the smoke
Yeah.
test is a quick and easy way, right? Not complex. Not that water's complex, but
Sure, but yeah, it's messier.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like, oh, hey, we
Real
got
life
some
smoke
action
test.
here. Oh,
Okay. Uh,
didn't like it. But
what did not like
wait,
this time?
missing write access. Oh, so I couldn't install it to G, the group.
Uh,
But it did, like, it didn't install Newman. Oh no. All right. I need to fix this. So this is what we'll do.
okay.
I'm gonna work on this after I get on. I'll send this to Sean. He'll update our or this stream with the code base. Does that make sense, Sean?
Yeah. I
And
like it.
yeah, we'll do it that way so that folks can actually see it. But yeah, this is all, again. So this is a good example of, if you're a developer and you don't understand systems, Docker, and like runtimes, this is a great example of why I understand them. I just didn't think of these things because I didn't test it. I figured we do it, raw.
Do it live,
Um,
yeah.
well, yeah, we Bill O'Reilly this thing, and we did it live. But yeah, I'll get this working, and yeah, we'll. But the you get the
We're
gist of
close.
it,
We're
right?
so close.
Everything's
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Um.
Cool.
So Sam, for your second question, uh, what was it? It was
Yeah, pull it
I
up
just
here.
writing into the IDE and how it moves from compiler to being run on electronics on a prod server. Okay. So I guess what you're asking is, yeah. So the way, I guess you're asking, uh, oh, file uploads. That's a different question. So
Yeah.
the question is, that I'm understanding is, so if you write some code, how in the IDE, how do you move it from the compiler to being run on in the pipeline that gets to the server? The reason, the thing is, that triggers this pipeline, right? The way that it works is, all I'm doing is simple get, from this IDE. I'm doing a simple get push. I'm not doing it in the command line, but I'm just using the IDE tools, right? So like, I just click here and push it, right? So that I've been committing and pushing using the IDE. A lot of folks, I go on the command line and people ask me, how are you doing that, or whatever. So this is a lot like more visual for a demo. Normally I'm not doing it this way. I'm doing it from the command line. So once you do that push, it goes up to GitHub, right? And there's a branch on GitHub, and CircleCI detects it. Right now I'm using main. So once any changes to main happen, then this CircleCI detects the change and runs these pipelines. That's how your code gets into the runtime with this checkout command, which I probably didn't explain too well. If you look at the jobs, they all have this checkout, and this is a git clone. So the git clone, this is an alias for git clone. So if you were to do like git clone whatever repo the changes in the commit, are coming from, that's how you get the code into the runtime. So I hope
Cool.
that's what I hope I answered you, Sam. I know this could all seem like magic and confusing, and quite
Yeah.
frankly, it is a
It kind of
complex
is in a way. Yeah.
thing if you're not used to it. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for, is to help you get used to it and understand it, because I want everyone to have these skills moving forward and be somewhat knowledgeable. Because I think in the future, as developers, these are just the new expectations, right? We're going to have some competency in operational things, which is the run times. And, I mean, it makes sense, right? We want to make sure that the code that we're writing will actually function in environments that we're going to deploy to. And that's basically it. So with that, I will fix this, and I will, share the repo with Sean, and he can share it with all of you. My Twitter handle is @punkdata. And yeah, maybe we shouldn't have spent so much time on Ken Lane, right? And we could have. I'm just kidding. This was so much fun, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for hopping on. And so normally we end with like community shout out. So I'm gonna steal it for this one. Usually we both get to do one. I'm just gonna say to everyone that stuck around to the end and like kept asking questions, and we're curious and gave us stuff to kind of talk about while we were waiting for these like long build processes. Awesome. Thanks so much for staying with us. And like Angel said, if you're interested, we will get the information and resources up. These videos are available on our YouTube page. So I'll put information in the session description there. And I'll talk quickly about our upcoming schedule. And I closed that tab by accident. So give me a quick sec.
So I'm gonna, while you do that, I'm gonna send up a new change to fix that. Go.
Sorry. What did we? Oh my gosh. Okay, I know how
all the cool T-shirts you're gonna ship everybody who watch this, right? That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh my goodness, I can't remember where this thing is.
Know any good jokes, anybody?
What do we got? This is wild. Usually I have everything. Okay, here we go. All right. So next week we have 2 exciting sessions. So the first one on Wednesday, we have our Space Camp. And so that's like a series of educational webinars. And so I think that one's going to be really fun. And I will drop that link in here for everybody. So that's on Wednesday. That's API Lifecycle Part 1, Building and Testing an API. So come check that out. That is Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific. And then on Thursday, we have 2 folks. Well, we have, we're going to be talking about webhooks and using webhooks with the PayPal API. So another fun event next week. So that's what we got. And I think I'm going to wrap us up here, Angel.
Oh, no. It's all good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody, being patient, and I promise I will get this working, and we will share it with you so that you'll have all the code, all the stuff to do it yourself. It was a pleasure, and I want to do this similar thing again. Maybe we can do a more advanced version.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, man. It's a pleasure.
Thanks so much, Angel. Yeah, it's been great. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ken. All right.